The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. Scott Earhart here with Insurance Agency Marketing Services. First and foremost, thank you all very, very much for taking time to join us this morning. We do greatly appreciate it. I think you're going to find the time you give us today very, very valuable. We are going to look at one of my favorite accumulation vehicles available in the industry, Athene's Performance Elite, and the 3 to 6 products, depending on how you look at it, that are available in that suite. It's very timely. Last week, Athene was bold enough to announce an increase on the bonuses for several of the products inside the suite here. So very, very excited about that. Took one of the industry-leading accumulation vehicles, made it even stronger. To get into the details on that increase in the product itself, we have our VP from Athene, our relationship manager, Mr. Mac Campbell, with us. Mac, can you hear us?
I can, Scott. Thank you again for having me today.
Hey, thank you, Mac. We really appreciate your time with us. Before I do hand the presentation over to Mac, I'm going to go through just a few housekeeping items real quick and then a few introductory slides, and we'll get going. First housekeeping item, and probably the most important thing you will hear me say today, is in the top right-hand side of your screen. That's our phone number. Our number here at the office is 800-255-5055. If there's anything we can be doing to help you in the life or fixed annuity markets, we'd certainly love the opportunity to chat with you. Do not hesitate to give us a call. Second housekeeping item is I'm going to launch, I believe, 3 polling questions throughout the presentation today. Simple yes or no questions. If you would, please be kind enough to just click yes or no on those. We really do appreciate everyone's participation in those. And then final housekeeping item are questions. We're going to throw quite a bit of information at you in a relatively short period of time, so I'm sure that will generate a few questions. If you would just type them in. Mac, and I'll say this about everyone at Athene, are as transparent as they can possibly be, and they certainly will do the best they can to answer your questions. If Mac can't answer your questions or I can't answer your questions while we are live in session here, we will get you an answer offline. So please type in any questions you have towards the end of the presentation. We will open it up and try and get those answered. A couple introductory slides here. First thing I want to touch on are the IMES Business Builders. These are available to our licensed producers. And the first one I want to hit on is the Referred Producer Program. Our business here on the wholesale side of the industry, very, very similar to yours there in the field, in that one of the best leads we are ever going to receive is a referral from one of our valued advisors, and we want to make it worth your while to refer individuals over to us. So you refer an advisor over to us, they pick up any license through Insurance Agency Marketing Services. We're going to send you a $50 thank you check. And where the real money comes in is as your referral writes business, you will receive a 20 basis point override on that business sent to you directly from Insurance Agency Marketing Services. You can see the example there. You refer 3 producers that are $1 million producers. That means $6,000 a year for you in cash reward. So it can be very, very lucrative for you. If you know of someone that you think could benefit from working with us here at IMES, feel free to type their information into the questions box. You can email their information to me, scott@imesinc.com, or when I call to follow up with you, let me know who they are. Myself or someone on my team will do the best we can to get them referred or recruited over to us here at IMES and get you on your way to earning some referred producer dollars. Our most popular program that we offer is the Marketing Reimbursement Program. Rough numbers on that: for every $100,000 in premium you place through Insurance Agency Marketing Services, we'll put $100 into your marketing reimbursement account. Now, we consider this to be your money. So what I mean by that is we're going to put very, very few restrictions on this account. We're not going to tell you you have to cash it out every so often. We are not going to tell you that We're not going to tell you that you can only grow it so much or really put many restrictions on the vendors that you can utilize. We really do consider this to be your money. And if there is a business building expense, a marketing expense that you have, we want to partner with you on that expense, help you offset that cost, and hopefully assist you in growing your practice. If you have any questions on the marketing reimbursement or referred producer program, let me know. I will certainly answer them for you. Moving on to the new producer builders. So this is going to be geared towards individuals who are new to us at Insurance Agency Marketing Services, or if this is your first introduction to us here at IMES, you are eligible for this program. It is based on production within the first 180 days worth of being licensed here at IMES. As you can see, there are 3 great levels that you can choose from, or you can qualify at, and inside of each level, some great rewards for you to pick from: cash rewards, business building tools, personal perks. I know we just cut a check today for one of the seminar packages that someone cashed in on, so really, really great stuff there. If you'd like to know where you sit currently towards that, or if you want to have a conversation about what we could be doing to help you step up to the next level, let me know. Certainly, we definitely want to help you do that. Back office support. This is who we are here at IMES. This is the heart of who we are. And that subheadline there, we help you work smarter, not harder. We are a service-based organization that really, really wants to earn your business and help you with your overall business flow. And we're going to do that with great business building tools and resources. You're looking at one of the resources right now in the webinars that we offer and the live trainings that we have. So a lot of different tools available to you: case design assistance, life and annuity quotes. We're going to make a commitment to our producer that we are going to get you the tools you need to close sales in an expedited fashion. We're going to answer your phone call within 3 rings. And that individual that answers your phone call is going to be able to help you with that case design assistance or get you those illustrations that you need in a very timely fashion. If the individual that answers the phone can't do that, we're going to transfer you directly to someone that can. We have forms at your fingertips. You can call us to order those forms. We'll get them emailed to you, drop shipped to you directly. Of course, you can get them online at imesinc.com or direct from carrier, but we're going to give you that ability to get the forms you need to write business very, very quickly. Submission to commission support. Amber Williams and our entire new business team, that's what they're here to do, is to scrub apps, submit the apps, track the apps, work the requirements for you to really act as your back office and help you get commissioned faster. And those guys and gals on the new business team do such a great job. If you haven't submitted a piece of business to us yet here at IMES, I'd challenge you, give us one piece of business, see how smooth that process is. They are very knowledgeable, very efficient at what they do, and they will help you to get commissioned in a much more timely fashion. Top sales coaching and expertise available to you. We do have sales coaches throughout the country that are here to work with our advisors, help them grow their practices. I will chat a bit more about that as we talk about our Life and Annuity Academy here in a slide or two. And then paperless contracting. We are on the Efficient Forms platform. So if you contract with IMES, we put you onto that platform. What that means is you don't have to get hand cramps by filling out new licensing agreements every time you want to add a carrier. All you have to do is let us know, and we will get it done for you electronically. Creative Marketing Solutions. We do have an in-house creative team here. We call them IMES Creative. I know that's a really bold name there. But what we can do there with our graphic designers and our digital team is really help you with a lot of different marketing, ready to print customized information, customized handouts, flyers, newsletters, postcards, all available to you. And we can turn those around super, super quick. And they are just absolutely amazing looking and very, very well written. Agency Solutions, full customizable branding is available to you. If you don't have a consistent brand for your practice, I'd tell you, let us help you create one. It will pay dividends for you. Long term, with the name recognition, with the brand recognition, adds an extra layer of validity to who you are and the business that you are running. And then digital solutions, of course, we've got website creation, marketing strategies, social media consulting. We can help you with email marketing, online newsletters, all sorts all sorts of great stuff available to you there. If you have any questions about what we can do with the IMES Creative team, just give the office a call, ask for Jacob in Creative. He'd love to chat with you about what he and his team do to help our advisors and their overall branding. The website, I mentioned it earlier, imesinc.com, constantly adding great new stuff onto it. We just introduced a new partnership for errors and omissions insurance that you can purchase directly through our website. So if you are in need of E&O, that is now available, and the pricing on that is very, very competitive. Term quote engine, annuity quote engine, competitive intelligence on annuities, forms online, current product grids, all available to you right there. If you haven't gone out to imesinc.com and registered there, please do so after the webinar. I think you'll find a lot of great information. Sales resource library as well is out there and available, so take advantage of it. Retirement Analyzer. I love the Retirement Analyzer. I think it's a great closing tool. There's a lot of different financial analysis software out there. The reason why we use the Retirement Analyzer is I do believe it will help you close sales. It is a holistic analysis of a client's current assets, where their money sits, and how long that money will last them into their retirement years, what would be left over as a legacy. And the great thing about the Retirement Analyzer is simply by clicking a button, you can show the client exactly how much longer their dollars will last or how much sooner they will achieve their goals because they chose to implement a strategy that you're recommending or a product that you're showing them. Really great tool there. Marcus Solar in our office is our point man for the Retirement Analyzer. If you'd like to take a look, use the free trial, we've got some great trainings on it. Just give Marcus a call. He'll be more than happy to get you out that information. IMES Wealth Management. As I talk about IMES Wealth Management, I'm going to launch our first poll of the day. And basically what I'm going to ask you is if you'd like more information about IMES Wealth. If you click yes, you're going to get an email with some further details, and you'll also get a follow-up call from Mike Hansen, one of our onboarding specialists there, and he'll chat with you about who we are over at IMES Wealth and what we do, what we're designed to do. We opened IMES Wealth, I'm going to call it 2 years ago, and we've seen it be just a huge success. We've helped a lot of advisors obtain their Series 65. We've got a great training partnership there to make the test a little less daunting and get it done. We've also started to see a lot of advisors, existing IARs, move over to us, and I think we're seeing that because of the value proposition that IMES Wealth brings to the table. Got a really robust platform that has very good client interfacing. A lot of great technology behind that, a lot of great technology available to our advisors, and of course great service here in the office. But the thing that I think is really driving this is the fee structure. If you are an existing IAR, I'd tell you click yes, have a conversation with Mike. I think you'd be very impressed with the overall fee structure that's there and the amount and what you get for that fee. Very strong value proposition there. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and close this down, move on from this poll. If you haven't taken the time to click yes or no, if you would do so, certainly do appreciate everyone's participation there. Thank you, everyone. Moving on, and I hate to do it, but I'm going to do it. Going to launch 2 polls in a row, and what I'm going to ask you here is if you'd like more information about our life and annuity academies, and this is very timely. Our next academy is in mid-March, and it will be our first academy of 2019 now. We will be down in Dallas, Texas. These are all expense-paid events. What we're going to do for this particular academy is bring you in on a Wednesday, have an evening session Wednesday, have a full day Thursday, and have a half day on Friday. Hopefully get you out right around lunchtime, back on a plane out of DFW or Love and home in time for dinner. Very excited about these events. We hold 3 or 4 a year, and very well attended, very well received. A lot of great information will be given to you here. You'll meet a bunch of the IMES internal staff, myself, more than likely Amber Williams, Jacob Tedlock from Creative, I'm sure. Charles R. Hiring, the head of our RIA, Steve Murray and Charles Hiring Sr., our ownership and executive team, will all be there to share with you who we are at IAMS, what we do for our advisors, how we help you grow your practice, how we help you administer your business and make sure it's running as smoothly as possible. We will bring in at least 4 of our sales coaches from throughout the country. And to be a sales coach at IAMS, not only do you have to talk the talk, but you also have to walk the walk. And what I mean by that is the sales coaches we bring in are upper 1% of fee and commission earners in the industry. So they are top producers. They will show you exactly what it is that they do in their daily practice that has made them so successful, give you the ability to take that home with you, implement it in your practice, and enjoy some of that same success. We are going to partner with Athene on this academy. We've partnered with Athene on many academies before, and they're a great partner. So since I have Mac with me, I'd be amiss if I didn't ask Mac for some comments on the academy. Mac, you got anything you'd like to share?
Yeah, Scott, thanks for the opportunity. Yeah, it's I would urge all of you, if you've not attended one in the past, just to certainly do that. And, great opportunity here in Q1 to get together with us as well in Dallas. From my perspective, it's always great, talking with, having conversations with the various producers. The great thing about this business, everyone, is that there isn't a single way, one way to do it right? I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can succeed all over the country. And it's great when we have a lot of collaboration, sharing of ideas, reps from all over the place coming into one area. Again, as Scott mentioned, you're going to get a lot of material from us. You're going to get a lot of material from the sales coaches, but then also one another. There's enough downtime where you can share your business with someone else and tell, what makes your business tick versus someone else's, and learn from them. So, again, great opportunity to break some bread and learn a ton of information about IAMS, about the business, about Athene in this case, and about one another. So click yes if you have not been to one, and they'll get you the information. Thanks, Scott.
Hey, thank you, Mac. And as always, we appreciate your partnership on these and Athene's partnership. You guys have been such a great partner to us over the years. Really looking forward to March in Dallas. That being said, I'm going to get this poll closed down. So if you haven't clicked yes or no, if you would do so, certainly appreciate that. Thank you, everyone. Moving on. Ritz-Carlton Summit, Marketing Summit 2019 in Naples. Super excited about that. Still plenty of time to qualify through June 30th. 3 million trip credits, it gets you there. You can see a breakdown of how to do it. We're going to be playing some golf. We're going to be doing some shopping. I'm sure we'll be hanging out on some beaches, have some great meals. It's going to be a ton of fun. This will be our largest attended marketing summit of all time. So really looking forward to seeing you there. If you'd like to know where you stand as far as qualification goes, let me know. If you'd like to chat about what we can be doing to help you get over that 3 million threshold for trip credits, certainly I'd love to have that conversation as well. And I am going to steal Mac's thunder a little bit before I hand it over to him. I do want to mention we do have the Sweet San Antonio Escape as well. That is a partnership trip that we do every year with Athene. I'm sorry I didn't get it in my introductory slide deck, but if you'd like information on that, that's coming up here pretty quick. Still some time to qualify, all based on Athene production. And as you will see, Athene just made it a heck of a lot easier with some of the great changes they've made to the Performance Elite. That being said, I am going to give control over to you, Mr. Campbell.
Great. All right. If you would, Scott, I think I've got control, but if you could just verify that you can see the slide and hear me okay?
Yep, I can see it, and we can hear you.
Great. That's awesome. Thanks again for the introduction, Scott. It's always a pleasure to do these webcasts with you. You mentioned that the San Antonio trip, and of course the Naples one as well. And the beautiful thing there is it's 2 for 1, right? You can do write some Athene premium, go and potentially get to San Antonio, and then that same dollar also helps you qualify for Naples too. So keep that in mind. Scott mentioned we're going to spend, and really the beauty of this product is in its simplicity. Scott mentioned it's all about accumulation. You see a couple of different things on the screen there: income, legacy, protection. I show that to you because these are all potential concerns that retirees face today. when they're saving for retirement. And, at Athene, we've got product fits for each one of those. As I mentioned before, though, we're going to focus primarily today on that second one, accumulation. And again, the product itself, there's a couple of different varieties which we'll cover, but at the end of the day, I think it's one of the more simple products. There's no rider to really talk about in terms of income riders and phantom accounts and all this other stuff that I think makes sense for the right client in an income sale. But ultimately, if we're just trying to accumulate dollars for someone and do it safely, we think the Performance Elite does it better than most. So again, make your money work for the long term is sort of the phrase we use with this product. Again, there's a couple of different versions, but really there's three things that come to mind immediately when I think of the Performance Elite. The first is market leading premium bonus. And as Scott mentioned before, we literally just increased the premium bonuses on a couple of the versions of this product to up to 15%, depending on which one you're selling. That's not an income bonus, as I mentioned before. If your client needs income, this is we have another product for that. That is an actual premium bonus. So cash bonus goes to work for them day one in the contract. You combine that with market leading crediting rates. And if you've known anyone that's been selling Athene and perhaps have sold this over the years, ask them how the results have been. I think you'll be impressed. We've got great rates here across a whole host of strategies you can choose for your clients, and we'll talk about that in a moment as well. But at the end of the day, probably some of the best sleep at night liquidity features, optional liquidity features, mind you. There is a liquidity rider you can add to this that gives you unmatched liquidity, and of course you get some of that large premium bonus as well. And we'll talk about that in a moment. So I mentioned there's a couple of varieties of this. Essentially, there's a 7-year, a 10-year, and then we have a 15-year version of the product. Depending on where you live, what state, your version may be a little different. We have the 10 Select and the 10 Pro for a couple of different states, and the 15-year product is not actually approved in several states, which we'll cover at the end. But generally speaking, the 7-year and the 10-year are available nationwide. And we'll start with the 7-year. You can see the premium bonus, generally speaking, is 6%. Again, a couple of states that are unique. Typically, if you're in one of those states, you know who you are. But it's 5% in those states. So 6% premium bonus on a 7-year chassis, among the highest in the business. A 10-year chassis with a 12% premium bonus, and that I believe is the highest in the business. And then, of course, I mentioned 15%. That's the premium bonus that comes attached to the 15-year version of the product. Again, not approved everywhere, and we'll get there in a minute, but I think the sweet spot here really is our 7 and our 10-year version of this. 12% bonus on the 10-year, and again, 6% bonus on the 7-year. And I'm quoting you, by the way, the premium bonuses that are associated with the plus version. That includes the liquidity provisions, which we'll talk about in a minute. And the reason I quote that more often than just the base version is because roughly 90% of the Performance Elite business that we take in at Athene comes in with that optional rider. The fee is not too bad, and I think it's a very small price to pay for a huge bonus. And as you'll see in a little while here, some great liquidity features. That said, if you know your client, doesn't necessarily need extra liquidity, the Performance Elite without the liquidity provisions and the higher bonus actually is probably going to accumulate better because you're not paying a fee each year. But again, we'll talk about that. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this slide. It looks very borderline convoluted. A lot of strategies. I show this to you more to tell you that you've got a lot of options to select with your customers. We've got traditional strategies based on the S&P 500. We have a fixed account as well. And then we have a whole host of both 1 and 2 year uncapped indices. And these have really become in vogue over the last several years. And they provide a ton of value to customers, when the market is right. So I think it makes sense to potentially pick a couple of different strategies. The reality is these are going to work a little differently in different marketplaces. And I'll show you an illustration at the end. And, I usually like to mix up the BNP and then maybe the Janus as well. And I'll tell you the reason for that when I show you the illustration. Here's the 7-year. And again, these are probably our top 3 strategies in terms of popularity. The Janus was the best performing strategy in 2017. Clearly last year was a little bit different. We've seen some more volatility. but that's really going to be your home run type strategy, I think. And again, you can kind of see what the range of performance could be, selecting the different strategies here. This is on the 7-year product. Then I get on the 10-year and the 15-year as well. So great performance. And again, you're looking at some of these interest rates or these illustrated rates. This isn't a fixed annuity, everybody. This is not variable. So these returns are potentially possible here with this Performance Elite because the rates are so good. So we've talked about the bonus. We've talked about the rates and the different strategies we had, at least a little bit. Now let's talk about liquidity. Again, we're going to focus on the lower half of this slide here. So again, they're going to buy they're going to buy the product with you. They're going to get the plus version, which gives them the larger bonus. And then let's talk about what liquidity comes with that as well. They're going to get 10% available right out of the gate. And in any year that they don't take a withdrawal, next year they can take up to 20% free. That's not cumulative down the road. I mean, it's only every other year, and I'll illustrate that in a minute. The best part about this, though, I mentioned sleep at night liquidity, 10%, potentially 20%. That's great liquidity, no doubt. After the 4th year, client gets their money back if they want. It's 100% return of premium. I love the way that illustrates, and we'll show you that in a few moments. But again, we all know that in a retirement plan, things change, right? And I think it's nice to be able to give a product that accumulates good value for clients that has a built-in off-ramp, right? They want an off-ramp on the road to retirement sometimes. And it's nice to know that if things do change in their life, perhaps this doesn't perform as well as they thought it would be, they get their money back. And there's no chargeback to you, no surrender charges on them. I believe this will work well for most clients that stay in it for the long term in terms of the performance. But again, we all know that things can change in life, and it's nice to know they can get out if they want to. So the Performance Elite Plus, this rider charge, it's 95 basis points each year during the surrender charge period only. So if you're in the 7-year product, you're paying that for 7 years. If you're in the 10-year product, it's 10. Again, I think it's a small price to pay for a huge bonus potentially there, 12% on the 10-year product now. And then again, having that great sleep at night liquidity, the rollover 20% liquidity, and then of course the return of premium after the 4th year. So I want to illustrate how that rollover liquidity actually works. So as I mentioned, if you don't take anything in 1 year, the next year you get up to 20, right? So in this example, year 1, our clients don't need anything, so they don't take any money out of the contract. That means year 2, they get up to 20% free of surrender charge. If, however, in year 3, remember, it kind of resets every other year, right? If in year 3 they actually take some money out, that means they can't take 15 the next year. That means they're only going to get 10, because again, they did take some money in that year 3. So if they don't take anything next year, that's when they get the full 20. But still, again, in terms of liquidity, about as good as it gets. When you combine it with the bonus, the performance that the strategies will actually perform for people, I think it's probably one of the best accumulation annuities in the business. I mean, you'll look in the marketplace and you will see products that have maybe a large premium bonus, but typically something gives, right? Usually the rates aren't that great, or maybe the liquidity is not so strong, or you'll have a product with no bonus, but then great rates. Typically you can't have all three, but on this product, the way we've designed it with that fee there, it's really the best of all worlds. Market-leading premium bonus, market-leading crediting rates, and then just incredible liquidity features and a return of premium after year 4 as well. So let's show you where this thing is available. Again, the 7-year, with the exception of New York, no real surprise there, virtually nationwide. The only state I think that has maybe a different or two is my state, Massachusetts, naturally, and I think California. But generally speaking, the 7 years available nationwide to everybody. Again, we're not going to go through the mechanics here. You can see the surrender charges, and there's a minimum premium here of $10,000. That maximum without a large case approval, the top there, you see $1 million. We've actually recently increased that to $2 million. So that means you're able to illustrate up to $2 million without prior approval. We'll take more than that for sure, but we just ask that you get it approved on the front end, which is a pretty simple process. Here's the 10-year availability. A couple of differences. Again, dark blue is the nationwide version. And again, if you're in one of those states like a PA or a Texas or an Oregon, you're likely used to seeing different versions of annuities. Those state Department of Insurances are just a little different than the rest of the nation. And then the 15-year given the length of the surrender charge, you can see all the grayed out states. It's not available at all there. So you're going to be using the 10 or the 7-year in those states. But the dark blue states, again, we're probably in 30 or 40 states anyway with this 15-year version at least. So we've got most of you covered, I would say. Again, there's the surrender charges and whatnot. What I'd like to do, Scott, before I pass it back over to you, is show you an actual illustration. And, I'm kind of old school. I used to sell insurance for Northwestern Mutual Life. I used to sell using an illustration. I think for the right, if positioned the right way, an illustration can actually help close the sale. So I just want to show you a couple things as we walk through this. And the first thing I'll show you is the strategies that I chose to select. Like I got $100,000 going into the annuity here. Again, I go 50-50. Janus and BNP, I like the 2-year strategies because the rates typically are better. When you go longer in terms of duration, we can get better caps and better, or in this case, better participation rates because there is no cap here. I'll oftentimes loop in some fixed account as well. In case withdrawals need to come out, we can target that strategy so we don't invade potential index growth. But again, this is very simply, it kind of shows you a 50-50 breakdown there. This first page we're going to look at here assumes that we don't earn any money. So we're not going to earn a single dollar. This is worst case scenario where you can see upper right corner, 0% growth. But notice the surrender value after the 4th year. The client gives us $100,000 and they get $100,000. That's their surrender value. Again, that's their ROP feature. So again, things change in their life. They know full well that they're going to at least get what they put in just after the 4th year. I think that's a great way to look at that and position it as well. Now we'll look at just sort of the, based on the rates we have on the strategies I've selected, this is going to be assuming about a 6.7% rate of return. However, we all know that the market is not linear, right? It doesn't go up 6.7% every year on average. It goes up and down and sideways sometimes. So what we've done, we've added this feature not too long ago, is you have the ability to illustrate actual results. So here's the last 10 years, what this would have done. Now notice, a couple things I want you to look at. Because I've selected 2-year strategies in this example, there's nothing to earn that in that first year, right? And you can see that in every other year there's a 0 because I'm only going to get gains every 2 years. And true to form, it's not linear, right? For first 2 years, I'm earning about 4%. Then I had a couple of good years in there, 14 and a 31. There's your home run, if you will. At the end of the day, though, 10 years down the road, based on actual performance, again, we're not sure this will replicate itself naturally, but it gives you and the client a real look at how this thing could perform. Remember, they gave us $100,000, and in 10 years, it's doubled. That's not income accounts, right? We've all heard that story with roll-up rates. This is actual real dollars in their pocket. Again, great premium bonus, great liquidity along the way. So we believe, again, this is the best combination, again, of a premium bonus, opportunity for growth in some really innovative strategies, and of course, that sleep and night liquidity that we discussed as well. So, Scott, this is a quick one. I mean, I love it because it's simple, and I think simple sells, and this is one of the industry's leading products. Believe it or not, at Athene, we should have, starting in 2019, 4 separate products that achieve at least $1 billion in sales. And this is one of the stalwarts. This is one that's done at least $1 billion ever since we rolled this thing out years ago. So it sells for a reason because it treats your clients right, performs for them, and again, it gives them that great liquidity as well. So, Scott, with that, I'll turn it back over to you, and happy to entertain any questions at this point.
Hey, appreciate it, Mac. Great job as always. I am gonna take control back here. Okay. Do have a couple questions that have come in that I will get to here in just a second. With that being said, I am going to launch our final poll of the day, and I'm just asking if you'd like more information about licensing with Athene there. If you are not currently licensed with Athene, or if you're licensed with Athene somewhere other than IMS and you liked what you saw today, click yes. We'll make sure we get you out product information as well as licensing, commission information, all of that to get the Performance Elite Series and Athene's other great products added into your offering portfolio. Mac, first question I had come in has to do with the return of premium on the Plus version. Basically asking if a client utilizes the ROP after the 4th year, is there a chargeback scenario that happens?
I know, great question, and my apologies if I did not mention that. There is not. Again, there's no trapdoor there. They're going to get their money back, and you're not going to have to pay for that either, right? So we all know that typically if there's a surrender early, there could be a chargeback, particularly in that first year. That does not happen with this. We're outside of that first year, so even if they get all their money back in year 5 after that 4th year, no chargeback to you.
Fantastic. And I think you mentioned it, but I think we're just looking for a little clarification on this one. As far as the bonus goes and the vesting schedule, when is the vesting schedule applied on that?
Yeah, so that's, and we did not, I apologize, I did not spend a ton of time on the vesting stuff. So I'll use our 10-year version because that is one of the more popular ones. And again, depending on the state, right? There's a couple of states like California, for instance, and if you're in one of those states that has the 10S or the 10P, 10 Pro, the vesting schedules are a little different. You actually don't fully vest until the surrender charges are over, however, right? So it vests, it starts in, I think, the 4th or 5th year on the nationwide version and invests 20% a year beyond that. And then at the end of the surrender charge period, the bonus is all yours. So again, ideally, the clients, staying in for the length of the contract to take advantage of all that. That only really it becomes an impact if they leave early, right? Now, all that said, they may not start to vest immediately, but the bonus goes to work for them immediately. So they're going to earn value on that bonus dollar day one, despite the fact that they're not vesting, the entire time. Does that help, Scott?
It does. And I want to make sure I'm clear on this as well. The vesting schedule is only applied at surrender. Should death happen, the bonus is considered fully vested as well, correct?
I'm sorry. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and that's an important distinction because whether we like it or not, many folks often do pass away with their annuities, and that is correct. The bonus is intact on a death situation. Just if you're walking away from the product, surrendering it, that's when the vesting will come into play. Correct.
Yep, fantastic. Let me just check one more time here, but I believe that was the last of the questions that we had here. So with that being said, it was a quick one today. We do appreciate everybody taking 40 minutes with us. We know 40 minutes spent on a webinar is 40 minutes where you're not out actively marketing and prospecting. So we do greatly appreciate everyone's time today. Mac, I know it's a very busy time at Athene. We've been sending you tons of business. I'm sure we're not alone in that. So we do thank you very much for taking time to join us today. Any parting words for the group?
Well, no, just again, thanks for your time as always. Great partnership, Scott, with you as well. And, look, we covered some information here in a relatively short amount of time. And if there's questions you have, do not hesitate to reach out to Scott and his team or, of course, us at Athene as well. And I look forward to working with everyone and having a great 2019. Thanks again.
Hey, thank you, Mac. Thank you, everybody. Go out, have a great sales day. And I look forward to speaking with all of you very, very soon. Thank you.